Emma Knightley fancied herself quite adept at managing awkward social situations. Murder, however, was not one of them, especially murder in their village church. Those circumstances struck her as particularly awkward.
"Is she dead?"
Harriet Martin asked in a horrified whisper. Emma took a hesitant step toward the crumpled heap lying on the shallow steps that led up to the chancel. Steeling herself, she leaned down to press 2 fingers to the woman's exposed wrist and felt for a pulse. Hastily straightening up, she had to swallow twice before she could answer. "I'm afraid she is dead, Harriet. I cannot feel a pulse, and you can see there is quite a lot of blood." Mrs. Elton's blonde ringlets were dark with the sticky substance. A fair amount of blood was congealed beneath her head, and there was also something odd about the angle of her neck. As for her bonnet, the over-trimmed hat was decidedly askew. Harriet dropped her wicker basket, spilling an assortment of roses and larkspur onto the grey stone floor of the nave.
"Mrs. Knightley, how can this be? Poor Mrs. Elton!"
"Indeed," Emma replied, staring at the corpse of the vicar's wife. "Poor Mrs. Elton." Never could she have imagined herself referring to her social nemesis as poor anything. Such, however, was the awful magnitude of the scene before them. Harriet, wide-eyed and pale, pressed a trembling hand to her bodice.
How can you be so calm, Mrs. Knightley? I feel terribly sick and light-headed."
Emma didn't feel the slightest bit calm. In fact, she wanted to either shriek so loud it would shake the old bell tower to its foundations, or to cast up her crumpets. But since neither reaction would be helpful, she ordered her stomach back into place and tried to collect her scattered wits. "No fainting, Harriet. I cannot manage 2 bodies at once."